Hello, everyone and everybody, and every friend and every foe. Things are crazy going on here, but what can I do? What can I do to prevent crazy stuff going on? I have no idea. We like to do a little bit of talking here, and maybe I need a cup of coffee. And maybe a little biscuit now and then. So, what's the topic today? It can be whatever we want it to be, and we need some contemplation and reflections in order to do that. What have we been talking about lately? I often tend to forget. That's why it's different topic every freaking time. So it's not a game; it's a serious matter, and no one can predict the future. We can only believe in the future, believe in time. I know I have been talking about time before, and we know that we know, and there is much that we don't know, but we have to realize that too. That we tend to forget, we tend to tend to give away our topics. So, what's the important task today? If it's not for that we all need some time for ourselves. Privacy of time. I have been delving into some topics that is about the fatigue of being psychologically in strain, in turmoil. And as my mom said that she could do anything, she could, she never felt really tired. And so did my uncle. He was strong. You couldn't believe that someone could be that strong. And if you go to the animals, captive animals are in a way not so well. For example, not a shark but a whale that have this fin on top. It proves that this whale or whatever it is, shark, it bends when it is in captive. I heard that at least. It was on Free Will, this movie. It captured my reflections that no animal should be in captivity. And I believe that is true also regarding dogs. I think the dogs is proof that we have mistaken everything. We are alternating everything. We have mistaken everything, and we don't like the nature. We want to be on the top of nature. Aside from that, we know that animals that doesn't fit in their environment are not there by origin, like a lion, for example, will be tormented by captivity. And so also happens with the human being. When we are captivated, captivated within some frames, some borders, some restraint, for example, you have this psychiatric disorder that make people violent. They have to tie them up so they don't hurt anybody, not even themselves, because they are so out there in their mind, and it can't be mended. Seemingly it can't be mended, because they are in so much turmoil, so much strain. What is that? I have to focus very much in order to, maybe next time I will have this flashlight from above, so it can light everything here. Maybe I can use this, but it will cost a lot of crowns. Anyway, it is what it is. Maybe I can try. Yeah, that is much better. I get a bright light here. It is somewhat something I need sunglasses for. But you see, back to my topic at hand. I will buy myself a LED light, because this is too much. It's not too much in the degree that, but I need a dark, more affordable LED light. So anyway, I can see myself clear now. As long as I can see myself, it's okay. Maybe you can see me, but in this case, when people are captivated, they get a lot of strain on their psyche. It's not easy for them to be who they are. And referring to my mother and uncle, I don't want to elaborate so much on my uncle, because it's better kept where it was. But I know, because I talked with him, this man from Jomdal, he was the strongest man I have ever seen in my life, my whole life, even after. And they say that if some way back in his earlier years, he was well known for how strong he was, and someone in their drunkenness provoked him so much that he, you see, in Norway during the winter time there are a lot of snow, and he took those guys in both his hands, one there, one there, and it was told that he threw those men over the heap of snow that may have reached to the breast of him, just to throw them up. And he was not a violent man. No, he didn't hit anybody. And it was told, and this is a secret for them skiing, the skiers, because Birger Ruud, he was very well known during the war season for his ability to run on skis. He ran so fast that he beated everyone on the track. But my uncle Max, he is Max. He was walking on these jumper skis. The other ones, those professional, had this more tiny skis that were more suited to walking, not for jumping. But my uncle had this jumping skis. He couldn't afford anything else, but he used those skis in order to walk, and he had no problem in beating those guys that was in the lead of the world ski scenario. And he could run on skis or whatever because he could never be tired. It felt never that he was exhausted. So if someone knew back then, my cousin Kai, which is still alive, is well ticking, and he is one of the guys. And if he can confirm my statement, that would be nice, because it's told. I was told that this happened back in those days, that he was younger, and he passed away very young too. He was not more than 70 years, and it was a big loss. I felt that Max, when he went away, I felt more. It's a sad saying, but this guy was someone I really missed out of my family, because he was so grounded. You see, people that get religious, not to say something wrong about the others, but I think from my perspective, in those days, no one should be offended by this. Even it's a little bit hard to say something like that, but he was something profoundly grounded and real. Back in those days, I had this paranoia which was tormenting me. I had this confusion of reality, because some signal came from home, some different signals came from other persons, and I had to figure it out. But this Uncle Max, he was something you could really trust, you could really rely on. And I have told you before about my time at the shrink. People regard people that goes to the shrink to be mental sick and mental in balance. No, I think the sober people, those people that want to keep their health intact, they are those that seek some kind of assistance, and no one should be ashamed of that kind of help or assistance. Or in my case, it was kind of I told like a priest. I told him like a priest that I could go to this priest and tell everything and be taken seriously. And I was in the very early, when I came back from Kenya in my teenager, when I was 15, 16, 17 years old, I felt so tired, I felt so wasted, I couldn't, how can I explain that fatigueness in a very young age? I barely coped with work on a daily basis. I had to use the sick leave so often because so much dissonance. I have to put it straight. It was all this dissonance of signals that if you are alone and you are alone defending yourself against everybody else, it was really against everybody else. Only the Africans may have understood me well, but I didn't attach to anybody like that. I was afraid to be attached to anybody I couldn't trust. So I blame no one to that. But you see, when you are not heard by your own kind, when they don't really listen to you, they just define you and label you like that. That is when you get enough. And I know that I'm speaking to an audience that will know this very well. And people that are tormented in that way or different ways, that are haunted, that are in stress over time. And my mother said that this turmoil amongst the missionaries have drained me down. And what made her sick and sent to a hospital was a letter from a guy back home that sent a letter that really undermined their foundation for being in Kenya, and sent a lot of doubts and so on regarding them, more or less kind of accusing way. That was so tormenting for my mother that she lost her sight. She couldn't see, so she went to the hospital, and I think she got to relax, to ease off, get some painkillers and relax medicine. Because when people are put in some kind of hospital for mental sickness, they are often given some medicine in order for them to relax, because it comes to a certain degree. People are not aware of what I'm talking about mostly, but just to inform you that people that are put in a mental care have this need of relax. Otherwise, I have never been there myself. I have never been institutionalized in any way or form, and sometimes I wish to have gone through that, because I felt so tired and exhausted from everything, people that wanted to come close, and I can't really take it, because there is so much disappointments with close people that you really trouble with. And if you can't be respected for your space and your need of space, that is a whole lot of deal with that. So, but I know it because people have told me about it. Those friends of mine that I'm very honored to have as friends, they told me that they are often getting painkillers or some kind of a medicine that they can relax and get to sleep. Because when you are out there, you have no ability to reach back into yourself in order to calm down. Then you are on a borderline situation. That is how things are in those cases. And I am more or less happy that I didn't reach that state. But you see, what tear people down is mental cases, mental fatigue, mental strain. And they know that firsthand. When they are interrogating people for wrongdoing, they drain them so completely down in their own pity state that they will expose everything. It's just giving it up like that. Not have we only seen that on movies, but we know. Because if you are so exposed or tired after interrogation for hours and hours, maybe days, and terrorized, then you get mentally broken down. And that is when you are giving it all up. But a healthy man, a healthy woman, a healthy animal will achieve so much. So that, my friend, is the sum of what I can say. That is it. So it's kind of a clue to this, that if you don't keep yourself aware of your own state, many people that are institutionalized, my friend, that he was lost. He was mobbed and mocked at his workplace by his boss. And this was a highly regarded job. It was about accountants and so on. And this man, this friend, he told me that he didn't know that he on the train, he kind of felt a little bit odd, but he was taken by, I think, some police that said, "Are you okay?" And he was shocked. "Yeah, I'm okay. I am not sick. What do you think? Who do you think I am? I'm not a psychiatric case." No, he didn't understand, because he had no self-awareness of this psyche. Only he was driving crazy. He was really crazy out there because he had no recollection of this experience before. Maybe if it happens again, he will understand it more. But in many cases that people are not aware, because they think that as long as they can do a work and have a high professionality and high education, they will not be sick. And we had this prime minister here in Norway, Kjell Magne Bondevik. He said, "I hit the wall." And he had a breakdown. And of course, some countries stoop to killing their opposition people. We don't do that here in Norway. If you think that we are so low-level, animalistic people that we kill our enemies or opposition, then you have to get a grip. If you are that kind of a politician, you lost it. You have lost it. But today, we are in a civilized community, and we don't go around killing people like that. We honor them by answering certain questions. That is of the topic. We don't kill. We just honor people by answering certain questions. So the politicians, this Kjell Magne Bondevik, he was maybe so nice in politics. It was told that he could mingle, he could mediate among parties that were in the start, in the beginning, in the start, they were so oppositional to each other. But this man, these politicians, Kjell Magne Bondevik, I think he's a bit lost nowadays. But in any case, he he managed to do that. But it takes a lot of mental strain in order to mediate between opposition like that, get them all to agree on some ground agreement. So he was that kind of a man, and maybe he was giving it all for that case. And it was a It was a mental breakdown on his side. I don't mean that mental breakdown in a bad way or in a stigmatizing way, but it is true that many people that are suffering from mental strain, they are in a different league. They have outsiders. They are stigmatizing people like that because they have no clue. If they have some clue, they have a kind of a denial of those cases that they are undergoing. And I think many people view themselves, when that happens to people, that I think they mirror themselves in a way that they don't like. When people are mirrored, I'm a kind of a mirror person. I do some reflections, not only individually, but in a straight ahead way. So people don't really like when I'm straight with them, because maybe I'm too sharp for them, too straight, to put things in. People hate me. In fact, they hate me because I'm like that. But I don't really care about people that are suffering from self-denial. It's not good to avoid certain things that you know. So instead of accepting who you are, they have a rejection against people that are honest. I'm an honest man. I don't fussy put around or beat around the bush or walk around the porridge, as they say in the Norwegian. I don't walk around the grout. I put verbs in my mouth. And I am a false prophet.
Yeah.
I'm the false prophet here. And you see, when you are undergoing this mental strain, and you don't really know the outcome of it, the consequences of this mental strain is something you don't know how you will react. And as I was growing up, they thought I was that kind of a man that when I had a reaction, angry reaction or something of injustice behavior from other people, I reacted. But they were looking at me as a mental lost case. But you don't really know, if you don't know yourself, that you don't know how you will react. But if you know yourself in a way, you will also know that doing this and that is not good for anything. You don't throw glasses or hit people. You just do the right thing and seek the help that you may need. And that is what we try to do here. And when you seek help, people are defining you like a lost case. And when you come back to work, you can't really work because they consider you as a weakling. But we have to be open with ourselves. We can't reject people that are honest, that are tormented, have this history. And when they come back, they have achieved something very great that could serve as an example for everybody. That is of a lesson, of a course, and of a kind of education, how to deal with hardship. So even the strongest man can be broken down. Maybe that is a story about Samson in the Bible. When they cut his hair, his pride, his glory, he had to be broken down. And they blinded him and they slay him But after a while he prayed for God and prayed for strength, and he could conquer everybody. So pray, my friend, so that you can gain your own self. Be realistic about your own self. Go back to the old you in order to admit who you are. Because you are made in God's image, unique, and you should honor that by being you. Okay, my friends, be a blessing and be blessed.